right. Hey, Shalom. Shalom. We're the Brothers of Great Millstone, Church of Birmingham, Alabama. And as always, want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Yeah, in the ancient Hebrew tongue, that would be the correct name of the Heavenly Father, His beloved Son, and the Holy Spirit. Also, would like to give double honors to our teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, you brothers out there laboring in His work, continually pushing out this gospel in all true faith and sincerity. And as always, want to say shalom to the believers out there, the Akim as well as the Aqua, which consists of you brothers and sisters that subscribe to this truth as well. So, yep, we back once again, and this is going to be the finality, if you will, to Esau week, all right? Getting on these devils, man, all right, which we was commanded to do. Thus, the title is sitting, Prophesy Against Mount Seir. Why? Because we're in a time where this man who have been exalted into power, we're in a time reserved for him to be taken out of power. And this is a beautiful thing, man. This is a monumental moment in infamy, man. Why? Because this man has wreaked havoc on the entire planet Earth. You know, this man pushed forth his agenda. All right, wickedness have exceedingly polluted the planet Earth. You know, and who has been a driving force behind it? The so-called white man. You know, and it seemed at the time as if we was just disgruntled guys nitpicking at the so-called white man, looking for someone to vent, you know, towards and voice our anger towards. Which, if that was the case, we would have been justified in that, man. You know, this man, look what this man's history, man, his dealings toward our people. Nevertheless, we speaking concerning prophecy, man. All right, what was written and foretold in the scriptures coming to pass in the latter days. And as it were, we're in a time, this is the time where that man of sin is being revealed and ultimately going to be taken out of the way. All right? So anybody got a precept?
You got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, hold that. What you got?
This is the book of Isaiah 14, and I'm going to get to the point in verse 12. It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning?
Right. Now, when that read with the lack of understanding required, right, to go into these scriptures, you're going to stumble at that. You're going to perceive that to be talking about the devil, you know, in the sense of what you was always conditioned to believe, you know, that guy with the pitchfork. But this Lucifer right here is talking about the so-called white man, and in particular, the elites. All right, read that again, huh?
It's on Isaiah 14 and 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?
Right, so that's concerning the fall of this so-called white man. You know, that's slang, if you will. You know, Jacob said, hey, dude fell off. No, he was good, you know, he was on. His money was right. He was straight. But now he has fallen off. But that's what the scripture said. How Lucifer fallen, you know, to the ground, right? Well, we know why, because of biblical prophecy. He had a time where he was going to rise to power, and there was also a time where he would fall out of power. Matter of fact, if you ain't got anything, get 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter. And you go straight to the point, go to the field verse.
All right, Kanye, this is 2nd Ezra 9 and 5. He said, for like it all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end.
Right, so everything you see on the planet Earth has a beginning, all right? But it also has an ending. Read that again.
It said, for like it's all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest.
And the end is manifest, all right? So we have reached the end of the so-called white man and his reign of terror, his rulership. This system that's in play has finally reached its end, you know? And we are to prophesy this. See, the reason why the world come up against us is because we speak against, we testify against it. Matter of fact, you want to get that?
Yeah,
well, our Lord Yahweh said, the world hated me for I testify against it. Right? That's why we have so much friction. That's why you got the so-called white man pretty much setting the narrative with YouTube guidelines. You know, you see certain brothers' channels taken down. For an example, like the Apostle Ramla, I think his GMS Doc Info 13 or something. You know? That means the previous 12 channels have been taken down, man. You know? So that's the same with plenty of brothers. You know, you see brothers operating on a 2nd channel, 3rd channel, in some cases 5th, 6th, and 7th channel. Why? Because the so-called white man is conspiring against this word coming out. Why? Because we speak against this system. See that? And again, that's what we was commanded to do. So go ahead, Al.
Okay, St. John 7:7. The world cannot hate you but me it hate him.
Read that again.
It said the world cannot hate you, but me it hate him.
Now, this is the words of our Lord Yahweh Shai. Now, what did he mean when he said the world cannot hate you, but me it hate him? That's talking about these scriptures, you know? Because our Lord obviously is not here in the physical right now in his lifetime. So what did our Lord mean when he said the world cannot hate you, but it hate me? Again, this doctrine, this form of teaching, man, you know, it's contrary to the trends that set here, the policies, the ideas, the philosophies of America, right? This is offensive to you Americans, man. See, go ahead, huh?
It said the world cannot hate you, but me it hate him because I testify of it.
See, read it again.
It says the world cannot hate you, but me it hate him because I testify of it.
Go ahead.
That the works thereof are evil.
See, because the scriptures testify of it that the works thereof in this world are evil, man. Okay, which the so-called white man is the driving force behind the works that you see played out here on the planet Earth, and in particular here in America, man. America is that springboard, if you will, that was set up to propel wickedness throughout the planet Earth. But this book, all right, not just this book, because you have plenty of people that have this book, but the doctrine, the proper doctrine that's taught from this book, you know, this is what's confront the so-called white man and his wicked acts head on, and they becoming offended in that, man. See? Go ahead, you got something?
Yeah, just the book of Proverbs 9:7. It says, he that reproveth a scorner give himself shame, and he that rebuketh a wicked man giveth himself a blight.
You see that? So we being thrust into the public eye, nobody ever said it was going to be easy, but somebody got to do the job. See, here in this modern world, everybody is so political correct, man. Everybody's so PC. So to speak out against the powers that be, you're an automatic target, man. They tell you that in Isaiah, you gonna get that? Yeah, Isaiah 59 chapter, around the 14th verse.
Yeah, kind of
Isaiah
59 and 14. I'm sorry, verse 14. It says, and judgment is turned away backward, and justice standing afar off. For truth is falling in the street, and equity cannot enter.
Go ahead.
Yeah, truth faileth.
Yeah, truth faileth. Go ahead. And hold on. And why do truth faileth? Because he that is in power is all about lies and deceit and falsehood, man. See that? But ultimately, truth is going to overcome. See, go ahead.
It said, yeah, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil making himself a prey.
So by default, when you subscribe, when you come under the banner of those names, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, then by default, you're going to be a prey, man. Because this world is enmity with the Most High and his son. And why is that? Because who is the enemies of our Lord Yahweh Shai? Pretty much anybody who will not have him reign over them. That's in Luke 19th chapter. But in particular, the so-called white man. Who was responsible for putting our Lord to death 2,000 years ago? Who actually laid hands on the King of Kings, man? It was the so-called white man. So how convenient. Right now, in the time set for our Lord to make his return, who would be in power? The so-called white man. And that's who the Lord is coming to take down, right? That's why the scriptures say, as lightning flashes from the east to the west, so shall it be in the Son of Man return. See? Go ahead.
I'm going to read it again. It says, yeah, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil making himself a prey, and the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment.
See that? So the Lord is going to establish that judgment, man. Which we're in a time where the Lord is establishing the judgment. It tells you that in Zephaniah, the 3rd chapter. Every morning the Lord brings a judgment of light, you know. But there's going to be a time where this judgment is going to climax, man. And that's going to be in the form of World War III. All right, so you got something? You got something? All right, now let's go to it.
All right, yeah, this is Ezekiel 35:1. It said, moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir.
Set thy face against Mount Seir. Now, who is Mount Seir? That would be the so-called white man. Matter of fact, look up that real quick out in the blue letter. See what they give you right there. And I want to look up this word against. They don't give you much in it for against right there.
Which one they saying?
But look up the word Seir. See what they give you.
All right. Yeah, this is the word Seir.
Mm-hmm. And it's heavy right there. This word against right here.
Scrolls H8165. So y'all. And it says Seir. It says hairy or shaggy. It says patriarch of the Horites, the inhabitants of Edom before the descendants of Esau.
Not even But that's what it is. The inhabitants of Edom, man. Wherever his dwelling place would be considered Mount Seir. So no matter where this man go, we ought to prophesy against him. Right? Go ahead.
Okay. It says the land of Edom.
See, the land of Edom. There's no particular place you can say, you know what? Let's go, travel overseas and they go to the land of Edom. No, wherever this man is, that would be the land of Edom. Matter of fact, give me Malachi. I think it's Malachi 1 and 4. Go ahead.
Okay. It says mountain range in Edom is standing from the Dead Sea to the Atlantic Gulf. Let's see. Let me see. Let me jump up on it. It says the Strong's definitions. It says a mount of Idumea and its aboriginal occupants.
Okay, so wherever really this man occupy, that would be Mount Seir. All right. So give me what you got, Malachi 1 and 4.
This is the book of Malachi 1 and verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build in desolate places.
Right, and that was fulfilled in the form of really America. All right, the desolate places was Rome. After Rome fell, the Lord put a resilient spirit on these devils to come back into power and rebuild. Right, but it also proves in a subtle way, if you're paying attention, that the modern day so-called white man that's here amongst us would have to be Edom, man. Because what's his rallying cry now? Make America great again. So that's that same spirit. It's woven in his DNA to triumph, right? That's why you got the triumvirate. Go ahead.
It says, thus saith the Lord, they shall build, and I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness.
See, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. No matter where they go, they're going to be that border, wherever they settle, wickedness is going to rest there, man. Just like here in America. Right? Here in America, this place promotes wickedness. All right? Go ahead.
And the people against whom the Lord hath indignation for forever.
Right, so the Lord's going to have an indignation, which when you go into that word indignation, it translates to righteous anger. So the Lord have a right to be angry with the so-called white man. This man single-handedly destroyed the planet Earth, man. Right, the air that you breathing is all messed up. You in jeopardy of dying just from breathing the air because of the so-called white man. The water you drink, think about that. The water you drink is poison. Water is a damn cleansing agent, man. The food you eat, of course, you got GMOs. You don't know what the hell you eat. A goddamn chicken nugget, man. What the hell is a chicken nugget? Which, by the way, they recalled 600,000 pounds of chicken nuggets, man. And that's going to be a blow to you, Americans, man. You know? You got animals at the brinks of extinction. You got animals that's already classified as extinct. This is all under the watch of the so-called white man. We touch on deforestation, where this man is cutting down the trees at an alarming rate, in effort to suffice these different furniture stores and, shit like that. Man, the world is jacked up. You got the sea life. Man, the animals, the sea life, they commit suicide. You got a term called beaching, where these whales, they beach themselves. They just say, hey, I got to get the hell out of this water, man. They'll come up, they'll just beach, they'll commit suicide on the sea, man. Then when you open them up, they got damn McDonald's cups and all that shit filled in. That's the so-called white man. See that? That's the devil. So that's why the Lord said he has an indignation, a righteous anger with this man. Like, go ahead.
Yeah, just Isaiah 24 and 4.
That's that. That's good. I get Revelation, I think 11 and 18. You got that? Go ahead.
Yeah, Isaiah 24 and 4. It said the earth mourned.
The what?
The earth mourning.
The earth is mourning, man. The earth, the planet Earth is an entity. That's why if you ever saw the earth, like they show the earth, it looked like the earth pulsating. The earth is an entity, man. But guess what? The earth is mourning. The earth is infected with cancer. And what's the highest stage? Stage 4 cancer? It's really stage 3, the third part of man. You know what I mean? The earth is stricken by the so-called white. Matter of fact, give me that. I think that's 2 Ezra 14. We'll talk about the earth has lost its youth. Yep, you get that real quick. While you getting it, give me what you got.
It's the book of Revelations 11, verse 18. And the nations were angry.
Yeah, and the nations were angry. Go ahead.
And thy wrath is come.
Go ahead.
In the time of the dead, that they should be judged.
Now, the scripture said the time of the dead, but they should be judged. They're dealing with all the other nations. And really, everybody outside of this truth, you would be considered the dead. This is that time reserved where the Lord is about to pour out his fury, man. See? Go ahead.
It says, and that thou shouldest give for war unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints.
Now, that's heavy right there. The Lord said there's a time reserved right now where he's going to give reward to his servants, the prophets. That's reincarnation. All the prophets of old, they didn't receive their reward then. They back today to receive that reward. That's why the Apostle Paul made the statement. Is that 1 Timothy, the 4th chapter, I believe? Yeah. He said, henceforth there's a crown laid up for me. And all those who love his appearance. Right? Go ahead.
It says, and give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great.
Go ahead.
And shouldest destroy them which destroyed the earth.
Yep, and the Lord said he's going to destroy them which destroy the earth. All right? And through a process of elimination, who would that be? None other than the so-called white man. This man is responsible for destroying the planet Earth. And we just named some of the ways he destroyed. We ain't mentioning the titles he came up with, global warming or some shit like that, man. All right? With his man, he break down the ozone layer, you know? We ain't even mentioned all that. The ecosystem is completely thrown off. You got bees. Hey, remember we was at camp, was that last week? I saw a bee, we all marveled. Oh, there go a bee, man. Hey, man, I'm telling you, man, you devils got to go, man. All right? But as it were, we're in the right spirit. Why? Because we prophesying against you, man. The Lord told us to do this. Right? Let's show you that this is the Lord got in his crosshairs. This is what the Lord got on his scope, the so-called white man. Right? The Lord has targeted the cancer of the planet Earth, and now he's about to get rid of it. Give me, I know you got something. Go ahead and give me what you got, and give me that.
This is
10 and 10.
2 Ezra 14 and 10.
You got another precept too, right?
Yeah, Isaiah 24.
Okay, come on.
Yeah, this 2 Ezra 14 and 10. For the world have lost his youth. Yeah, it's like for the world have lost his youth.
The world have lost his youth. Go ahead.
And the time began to wax old.
Yeah, and the earth is beginning to wax old. Right? Go ahead.
It said, for the world is divided into 12 parts. And
that's going into, you know what that's going into? When it said the earth is divided into 12 parts, that's talking about how old the earth is. That's another thing. The earth is not goddamn 200 billion years ago, man. You know, Esau, that carbon dating and all that bullshit. Now you watch a movie dealing with dinosaurs lost. What the movie? Lost in Time or some shit.
Land Before Time.
Land Before Time. Yeah. Stars off 200, some crazy bullshit. 200 billion years ago. The fuck you talking about, man? Yeah. The Earth is going on. I think it's 13,000 years old. This is like the third day because it breaks that down when you go into this right here. It breaks it all down. Matter of fact, read it again.
Okay, it says, "For the world is divided into 12 parts, and the 10 parts of it are already gone."
See, what did that mean? That means in the time of Ezra, 10,000 years had already passed. See, go ahead.
It says, and half of a 10 part.
So the 10 and a half. Go ahead.
And there remaineth that which is after the half of the 10 part. Now therefore set down. I think that was it.
Yeah. So when you go into that, then you're going like into the time of Yahweh. That was 2,000 years ago. Like 2005. It makes sense. You know, from now going back to the time of Yahweh, it was a little over 2,000 years. Right? So that's like 12.5. Then the time we're in now, making it in the 13th, like the third day.
That's it.
That's why the 10, then 3,000. This the third day. See, so that's going into the time the Earth has been here. The Earth ain't been around no 200 million years. All right. So you go where you got.
Okay. Back Isaiah 24 and 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away.
Nah, and we just read. We just read it. That the Earth has lost its youth and has begun to wax old. That means the earth is fading away, right? Go ahead.
It said the world languisheth and fadeth away. The heart of people on the earth do languish. It says.
Now, That's heavy. Who is the halted people? That's the so-called white man. That's the ones who in power. Now, when you go into that word language, look it up real quick.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, this is that word language. Strong's 8.
It said the halted people language, right?
Yeah, the halted people language.
Go ahead.
I'm like, Slovakia. This is language. Strong's 8, 535, a mall, and it says to be weak.
To be weak. To be weak. The so-called white man has become weak. And that's heavy because when you read Psalm 73, it says there's strength, matter of fact, get that real quick.
Yeah,
see, our ancestors, they would have, man, what they would have gave to see this day. What they would have gave to see when the so-called white man had become weak, man. Because he had such a strong grip on the planet Earth. His power was firm. But now we're in a time where the Lord has stricken his man. He has become weak. Go ahead.
God, this Psalm 73, I'm going to start at 3. For I was envious at the foolish.
I was envious at the foolish. Who was the foolish? So-called white man. Go ahead.
When I saw the prosperity of the wicked, for there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm.
But their strength is firm. But now when we read the prophecy right here, they begin in the language. What's the definition for language?
To be weak.
To be weak. So that's beautiful, man. The so-called white man has lost his grip of power, man. Right? Go ahead.
It says to droop.
To droop. Yeah.
To language.
Yeah, because what's the opposite of droop? To be erected. No, you get erect. Erect means thing rise. That's where you get the word resurrect. Thing rise. But when you droop, that means you're going on a downward spiral. You lost your structure. You know? Go ahead.
I say ED, they got ED. They ride can't stand, so they follow on all levels.
They follow on all levels. Yeah, they started that ED shit. You know what I mean? Nobody never knew what the hell ED was, even until Esau said somebody. Fuck you mean? Oh, really? You know what I mean?
God, it says to be exhausted.
To be exhausted. Yeah. Look up that word exhausted. Click on that word exhausted.
God.
Let's see what that says.
Let's see.
Hey, we're in beautiful times, man. Okay? And again, in order for you to really appreciate this, you got to have somewhat of a feel for history, which all of us do. You know, just go after this, go watch 12 Years a Slave or some shit. You'll get a feel for how this man had, a stronghold on him. All right, go ahead.
God, exhausted. It says drained of one physical or mental resources.
Ooh.
Very tired.
Very tired.
It said used up. That was pretty much, let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. Now, when you think about somebody exhausted too, they the first thing they need is liquids. You know, like you're exhausted, you need some water. And that reminds me of Ezekiel the 17th chapter, how the Lord dried up the grain tree.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I mean? Yep. So the Lord have drained, this devil. All right. So you got more on that definition?
It says it says to be weak, to be or grow feeble.
Woo! To be or grow feeble. See that? Eventually, the so-called white man, out of all that power he had grown feeble. All right? So that's the spirit and power Yahweh Shema Shah. And in one way he had grown feeble is when you take a look at the landscape of America and like these different stores, retail stores, these stores that has been once a permanent fixture. Like I think we mentioned it last night, JCPenney and all these different stores. By them closing for good, that's a form of this man becoming feeble, man. What are they gonna do to substitute that? You know, they trying to spin it with this online shopping, which that's nothing more than them. That's a desperate plea, to push the chip. Because really what the so-called white man is doing with that, they pretty much, this is the last, a gasp. Now, motherfucker laid out and he take one last, swing at you, man. That's what this is. What this devil trying to do is crash the American dollar so he could transition over to, this digital currency, which is information coming out. Well, the reason why they beefing up these stimulus checks and giving away all this money to cause inflation so that the dollar can just crash, so they can just make that transition over into the chip. But even in doing that, that's a gamble. See, it's almost like when you at the casino, you like, look, I'm gonna just throw all the chips on the table. You know, whatever happened, happened. That's what the so-called white man doing right now, man. You know, with this attempt to crash the dollar. If this don't work, that's it, man. Which we know it's not gonna work. And they tell you in the book of Job how you're gonna be in straits. All right, you got something?
Just going back to what you were saying, this is Wisdom of Solomon 3:16. It says, as for the children of adulterers, they shall not come to their perfection.
Yeah, see that? And who is the children of adulterers? The so-called white man, which they are their forefathers back. You know? The very ones who set America up, who came over here, wreaked havoc on the natives. You know, they had a hand in putting us in captivity. They had a hand in signing laws and legislations keeping us in derision. They back, man. That's why you notice these young crackers today, they the fiery ones. They the ones that's really, they the ones that hate you, man. Because they're the same spirits that's reincarnated back. See? Go ahead, read that again.
It says, as for the children of adulterers, they shall not come to their perfection, and the seed of an unrighteous bed shall be rooted out.
Yeah, so they're not going to come to their perfection, man. Which their perfection in their feeble mind is to establish their new world order. You know, to get another currency, have everybody under one government, everybody under one, under one ideology, one religion, you know, and under one currency, pretty much. Well, the Lord is gonna overthrow that whole idea, man. Right? Yeah, go ahead.
It's the book of Psalms 140:8. Grant not, O Lord, the desires of the wicked.
Yeah, grant not the desires of the wicked. Go ahead.
Further not his wicked device. These they exalt themselves a lot.
Yeah, and that links up with Isaiah the 14th chapter. Where it say, matter of fact, get that real quick. 14 and 21. So the Lord is going to honor that. That's why it's written. You think that's going to be written and the Lord going to eventually let them further their device? No, man. The Lord is going to honor that petition that was made by our forefather. All right, King David, go ahead.
This is the book on Isaiah 14:21. It says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers,
go ahead,
that they do not rise nor possess the land.
Yeah, so they may not rise, right, and possess the land. Go ahead.
Nor fill the face of the world with cities.
Right, or fill the face of the world with cities. And that proves that they're talking about the so-called white man. Just the key word, that's cities. You know, and that's what America is based upon. That's why you're known as a citizen, man. All right? But the Lord said he's going to cut that off. He's going to hinder them from rising, man. All right? So, yep, go ahead.
All right, kind of this back. Isaiah 24:4. It says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languish and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish.
Yeah, the haughty people of the earth do languish. And we just read where the definition where that word language translates to becoming weak. How about that? So-called white man with all his technology, military presence that he'll step down on you with, you know, seize control of your land, right? Overthrow and topple whatever regime he wants in effort to take their resources. Guess what? This man is weak now, man. All right? The Lord has leveled off the playing field. You got all these different nations that possess nuclear weapons now. For an example, Elon, man. You got goddamn Eastern Indians, man. Motherfucking Dockers, man. You know what I'm saying? And sandals with ICBM missiles, man. That's the spirit. Matter of fact, give me Joel the 3rd chapter. We're gonna get back to Ezekiel 35th chapter, right?
I can get a quick piece of
go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah.
We'll be going on and on getting on Esau, man. You know why? Because we was commanded to. See, go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah 14:10. And they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou become, it says, art thou also become weak as we?
Read that again.
It says, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou...
fact, jump up, Bob.
I
think you might want to jump up to like
I said what he had on his phone.
Start at the 7th verse. Yeah, really you can jump all the way up to the top, but just go to the 7th verse.
This is the book on Isaiah 14:7. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet.
Yeah, and this is when the smoke clear, if you will. The dust settled. the whole earth is going to be at rest when the so-called white man is taken out of the way, man. Right? Go ahead.
It says they break forth into singing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee.
Right, the fir trees rejoice at thee. Go ahead.
And the cedars of Lebanon saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us.
Right, and that's twofold. That's talking about the nations, and it's also talking about the literal trees. When you go into the word fella, it means tree cutter. So really, to sum it up, the so-called white man, he sows this, he cuts life, man. Trees represent life, man. So-called white man is the harbinger of death. Right? Go ahead.
It says, hell from beneath is moved from thee to meet thee at thy coming.
Right, and that was written like that for you to stumble. You think that's talking about hell, you know? That was a war in heaven, and Lucifer and a band of disgruntled angels came up against the Lord, and they ended up, hell was waiting on. Well, how Lucifer came to hell and took over hell? If hell was already waiting on him. Who was down in hell waiting to lock? You know, somebody had to have the keys down there to lock Lucifer. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Lucifer came down there, now this is his domain. No, man, that's talking about a low state. All right? He's going to be a number amongst those who are be in obscurity. That's what that scripture is talking about. Hell beneath is waiting on him. Right? That's a low condition. The so-called white man is going straight into a low condition, man. We went into the breakdown of Lazarus and the rich man. With the Lord got you with that, you know. Bring the drip of water. Well, the so-called white man in his rightful lot is going to be at the bottom. That's what that's going into. Hell is waiting on him. His lot in hell at the bottom in a lower state is already reserved. It's already written. These bankers who never did as much as goddamn cut their own damn apple or some shit, right? They never really did any hard labor. They're going to go right into hell. They're going to be the first fruits of slaves, man. According to the prophecy, their first task is going to be burying dead bodies. That's cold, man. We had to pick cotton. That was bad, you know. Yeah. We had to do a lot of crazy shit. But these gentlemen, that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's just the normal. When you born, when you 3-4 years old, dead body, because that ain't gonna be 2 days or burying bodies. That's gonna be for maybe 50-60 years of you burying dead bodies, man. You ain't gonna have the technology and the machinery. See what I'm saying? Everything gonna go back to its primitive. Not really primitive, but it's gonna go back to, you know. You're gonna be burying dead bodies, man. You're gonna be using stones and shit. You know? Yeah, go ahead.
It says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirred up the dead for thee.
Now it says it stirred up the dead for thee. That's going to the other nations. The other nations is the dead. You're going to see that. Go ahead.
It says, for thee, even all the cities, so like it says, even all the chief ones of the earth, it have raised up for their thrones all the kings of the nations. Let me read it again. It says, even all the chief ones of the earth, it have raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations.
Right.
It says,
all. See, that show you that the dead right there talking about the nation. Go ahead.
It says, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we?
Right, and that's the other nations, and they saying that now. Have thou become weak as us? Meaning it's a level playing field now. You ain't the only one with the gun. There's no fun when the rabbit got the gun, so to speak. So-called white man can't wave around and parade around his weaponry to police and govern the world anymore. That's why, I think that was, is that in Iran, where they put out a warrant on Trump. They put out a warrant on Trump. There's an all-out warrant on Trump in Iran, man, for the killing of the general, the Soleimani, that's the name, right? So let's show you, that would have never happened 20, 25 years ago, right? Go ahead.
It says, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we?
Right.
Art thou become like unto us?
Yeah, have you become like unto us? Meaning it's a level playing field now. Matter of fact, hold that and give me what you got. I
Yeah, the Joel 3:9. It said, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords.
It said, beat your plowshares into swords, meaning what? Take your resources and turn them into military might. You know? Take your resources and flip them and bounce them into ICBM missiles, man. Read that again.
He said, beat your plowshares into swords.
See, go ahead.
And your pruning hooks into spears.
And your pruning hooks into spears. Those plowshares and pruning hooks, again, symbolizes your economy, however you bolster, you know, your finances in your particular country. And those spears and swords symbolize the ICBM missiles, man. Yeah. So you're going to take your resources and turn them into ICBM missiles. See, read it again.
Okay, it said, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears.
Go ahead.
Let the weak say, I am strong.
See, let the weak say, I am strong. Like we mentioned, you got India touched by an ICBM missile, man. You see how bad the prophecies are? Who would have ever saw that coming, man? You know, going back. You know, the only thing they was doing was having different skirmishes. I think India versus Pakistan. You know, they didn't have the nuclear capability. Now they got the nuclear capability to make Esau, you know, the Trump or whoever say, hey, let's talk about it. You know, because I believe it was a year and a half ago, they showed a simulation where America was attempting to shoot down missiles in a missile defense simulation, and they failed miserably, man. They missed every goddamn missile, and the only way they was able to shoot down the missile, they had to slow the simulation down all the way down. They had to slow it all the way down, and that's biblical prophecy, man. All right, so go ahead.
Yeah, I got something real quick. This is Jeremiah 50:14. Put yourselves in array against Babylon.
Against Babylon, and that's bad. I'm glad you brought that out. Right now, before you read that, go back to Ezekiel 35th chapter one more time.
All right, kind.
Because I got this word against right here, and that spirit that came back out. But get it real quick.
Yeah, this is Ezekiel 35:2. Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir.
So the Lord said, set thy face against Mount Seir. See, if you claim to be a man of the Lord, you can't teach this go along and get along bullshit, man. You can't teach becoming acclimated in America. You know, like you got General Yohana, they talking about building schools, and you know, IUIC, they arranging marriages. They encourage you to, you know, to become acclimated in America. You know, they call us bums. So obviously they saying that they well off, and we'll take that, you know. But what they insinuate is, look, this is the American dream. You know, you're supposed to have bread, you're supposed to have a crib, you're supposed to be acclimated. They want to be an Israelite to coexist with their enemy. But that's not in harmony with the scripture. The scriptures say prophesy against, right? So now real quick, I got a definition for against. It says, and it's quick and precise to the point. It says in opposition to. It says to fight against crime. To fight against crime. Now we all know that the so-called white man, when further examined, right, when scrutinized, he goes back to the criminal. That's why Esau is red, and that word red goes back to what? Crimson, which crimson translates to the criminal, man. So you see how bad this is? It says in opposition to fight against crime. See? So we fighting against the so-called white man, which is known as crime. It says in opposition to, look, it says at odds with, versus, counter, dead set against. That's cold. Dead set against. Anti. See? So we ought to be anti. We ought to be dead set against the so-called white man. And no wise should you find any common ground with the so-called white man. And really, that's not a hard thing, you know. If you're really in the right spirit, man, it's nothing that this man do that you can say, you know what? Hey, I know. Hey, now I challenge everybody on the coming board real quick, right? And I'm being honest now. And this right here it should boost your faith. I'm finna challenge all of you out there. Post one good thing that the so-called white man did, man. post one good thing the so-called white man did. And if you do come up with something, we're going to be able to debate. Because you might say, he let us vote or some crazy shit. You know what I mean?
God.
You'll be hard-pressed to find one good thing the so-called white man has done for mankind, humanity, whatever, did to benefit the planet Earth. Matter of fact, give me the tender mercies. If he did do anything, right? Hey, yeah, the brother said 0. Oh, medicine? Oh, hey.
Who said
hey, that's
he got the pill.
That's a pill. The pill, hey, the pill you put, that should answer your question.
Stomach lining.
Stomach lining. Tell the stomach lining.
Yeah, 0, nada, nothing. Worse than credit. Oh, did he take his comment down? Or somebody with a block him? Hey, don't block him, man. I want to see that. Because, okay, it's up there.
Yeah.
He said medicine. But medicine is witchcraft, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, give me the medicines of the earth real quick. Let me ask you this, brother. When Yahushua was on the scene, did he send you to CVS? Did he write you a prescription, man? No. He healed you,
Yeah.
He did the miracles. But also, the Lord gave us medicines in the earth. Like when you look at, for an example, like the Amalants, they got like the witch's pot brew with the, you ever saw the little Amalants? I wish we could show it up and pull it up. But if you pull up like the Amalants or like medicine, they got that witch's pot brew.
Now CVS got it too.
Yeah, CVS got it. Yeah, CVS got it. Yep. Medicine wasn't meant to heal you. It was meant to get your money. It's a big booming business, So, the coming boy, we ain't getting on the brother. He might sincerely thought that medicine was, so, I mean, like I said, this is a serious challenge. If you can find anything that you feel that the so-called white man, hey, that brother said, I got that. I got nothing, man. Yeah, go ahead.
This is Sirach, Ecclesiastes 38:4. The Lord have created medicines out of the earth.
Read that again.
The Lord have created medicines out of the earth.
Yeah, the Lord have created medicines out of the earth, not out of CVS or, some formula you come up with, right? A capsule.
Yeah. Pill. Why you got to press it? Why? Okay, if it's made out of plants, why is it all white?
Yeah. What did that? I can't even align that with nothing. I can't say, that reminds me of none of that. And furthermore, when you see a lot of these pills or whatever they promote, there's a damn side effect.
Yep.
Warning, ulcer, continual bleeding. You might bleed blood in your urine. They said all the side effects can cause blindness. See that? Read this again.
God, it said the Lord have created medicine out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them.
Yep, and if you are wise, you will not abhor the medicines of the earth. Which, when you look at like the vegetables and fruits, they for example, like a walnut is good for your brain, and it look like a brain. If you ever look at a walnut, it look like a brain. Like the carrot. A carrot is good for your eye. Oh, he said eyeglasses. Well, that's a spirit. I didn't even see that. I was talking about eyeglasses. That's the spirit of the Lord. A carrot is good for your eyes, brother. Because let's say like in the ancient world, did they have eyeglasses in the ancient world, brother? That couch. Well, we about to block you now, bro. Now you getting simple, man. It's not about being comfortable, man. And could that add any years to my life, brother? The couch I'm sitting on?
Dude, so,
Here, Edomite.
Yeah, he's straight up.
Edomite, yeah. I mean, you valiant. It's a valiant fight, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You putting up a valiant fight, bro. Bro said the cat, he fighting hard. But hey, it's nothing you can come up with. I'm being honest, man. Yeah, go ahead, read that again.
All right, kind. This is Sirach 38:4. It says, "The Lord have created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not pour them."
So the Lord created medicines out of the earth, man. You know, like certain greens, the avocado, you know, all these different fruits and vegetables. They set up to benefit you health-wise, right? So when you can do the research, though, the so-called white man set up medication, you know, as a big boom and big. That's one of the top. That's how this devil. That falls under drug. That falls under drug trafficking, man. You know, right? Yep. You got something?
Yeah, this Proverbs 12:10.
Hey, check this out, bro. What his name? The couch potato. Check this out.
Proverbs 12:10. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel.
The tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. So even if the so-called white man attempt to do good, give me that too. Even if when the so-called white man attempt to do good, it's cruel.
Yeah.
Because his blessing is the sword. You know, if somebody try to caress you with a sword, no matter how soft he caress you with that sword, you're gonna bleed. See that? Watermelon is good for ED. Yep. That's spirit, the brother put that up. And Esau, they make mockery of us about watermelon. You know, fucking devil. Yep, go ahead.
This Sirach 14. Sirach 14, the verse 7. It says, "And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness."
Right. So the so-called white man have done any good, he do it unwillingly, man. You know, which he haven't. You know, because even if it is considered, let's say like even if you consider it good, let's just say like the stimulus check, he doing that. It's a more sinister plan behind that shit, man. Like we mentioned briefly earlier, he looking to crash the dollar.
Yep.
You know, he's looking, and then this man, everything he do is to tag you as well. The so-called white man is looking to, because when you consider these different protesters, they said that they tagged all them motherfuckers, man. You know, they pretty much monitor them, and they know where they went home to and all that. So the so-called white man, everything he do is to benefit him. Read that again, up.
This is the book of Sirach 14, verse 7. "And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness."
Yep, and the last he'll declare his witness. Yeah, that's. I said there was no couches in the caves. And give me that too. The brother put that quote of physicians of no value. Bad. That's beautiful right there, man. You know? Because the so-called white man will have you on Ritalin or some shit. They'll have you on a certain medication and you'll die, man. It pretty much speeds up the process of you dying. See? That medication really to keep you alive, just to keep you boxed off until you die, man. All right, go ahead.
God, it's Job 13:4. "But ye are forgers of lies."
Yep, you are forgers of lies. Go ahead.
"Ye are all physicians of no value."
You're all physicians of no value, man. Okay? See that? Everything that this man has set up. Like, for an example, you know, the brothers, you know, here at Great Mills, we big on the colloidal silver. You know, like you might take silver. But if you type up silver on the internet, they'll say that it's bad for you. You know, they'll say that you can die from it or it'll cause different side effects or too much of it can do this and do that. Well, that proves that they're physicians of no value, man. You know, they pretty much set the narrative for you to spend money with them. And they knock the real medicines of the earth.
Yep.
But they'll take certain things and put it in the medicine, you know, but then the rest of it is damn chemicals, man.
I got something.
Go ahead,
Let me see. This is Sirach 39. Just going back, they use a little of it, but they don't. The rest is chemical. So this is Sirach 39, and
they'll take like a little aloe, you know, and you read the rest of the ingredients, man, all kind of shit in it, man. Right? Let's show that they're physicians of no value. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Sirach 39:26. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour, wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil, and clothing. All these things are good to the godly.
Right. So the scripture just outlined all the things that's good to the godly. You know, the things that can contribute to your livelihood, right? Go ahead.
So all these things are good to the godly. So to the sinners, they are turned into evil.
See, but to the sinner, which is the so-called white man, he flipped and bounced the very same thing that was meant for good. He turned it into evil, man. You know, like for an example, poppy leaf. Poppy seeds or coca leaves, like coke. You know, as as they're called. That's like for numb and pain. You know what I mean? It's from the earth. But they take it and they'll turn it into crack. You know? So let's show you how the so-called white man, everything he do is to detour it from righteousness to wickedness, man. See that? Yep. Go ahead.
It's on Isaiah 5:20. It says, "One to them they call evil good and good evil. They put darkness for light and light for darkness. They put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter."
Read that again.
It's Isaiah 5:20. It says, "One to them they call evil good."
Yeah, one to them they call evil good, right? Go ahead.
And good evil.
Right, because the so-called white man have you think that the thing that's good for you is evil. And you better not attempt to grow like your own vegetables. You see how sick this man is, man? This man want to keep you under that shroud of death, that cloud of death, you know? And he'll tax you if you try to promote life. That's why you had this dude, Dr. Sibo, I think that's his name. He got put to death. You know what I'm talking about?
I think I know what you're talking about.
Nipsey Hussle was like an advocate follower, you know? They ended up putting all the niggas to death, man, because they was trying to push, health. And Dr. Sibo came out and said, "Hey, you know what? Hey, let's show you that these words that we got is the words of life." Lord willing, I'm gonna do a lesson on it because see what we digest, and I've read an article on this, and I'm gonna bring it out, man. Lord will. Do you know words really affect your outlook and your perspective? So that's it, Dr. CB. Sound like some shit off of, you know what I mean? Indiana Jones, you know what I mean? But these words in this book promotes life. For an example, when you read Romans the 13th chapter and you understand it, that promotes preserving you. Because if you get pulled over by a cop, you know how to handle them. You know, oh yes sir, blah blah blah. But someone who might subscribe to black consciousness community or some shit, or the Moors, they'll tell the cop, "Hey, I got rights according to this law," and the cop will blow them away, man. Why? Because the words that they downloaded in them don't promote life. See that? So what we have digested is life. Okay. Now go ahead.
St. John 6.
68. Oh, right. Jump right. Give what you got. Yep.
Well, I can get to the point on that. Yeah, St. John 6:63. It's the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit, they are life.
Yeah, the words that the Lord speak unto are spirit and life. And these words are found right here in this book. Yep. Your words cast spells. Oh, that's bad. Hence the word spelling. That's bad right there. That's bad.
Sound like a bomb.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, go ahead. You got something?
Yeah, this is the book of Proverbs 4:5.
Yeah, real quick, right? What you digest in you affects your walk. It affects your outlook. If you put bad gas in a car, the performance is gonna dictate, that you put, you might drink, you might be drunk alcohol or whatever. Then all of a sudden, your outlook is you ready to take on the world. You might become brave. You might be more outspoken or whatever. So whatever you download in your body, whatever you digest, it affects your outlook. So that's the same with this word. You know? Go ahead.
It is on Proverbs 4:5. Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline the words of my mouth.
Yep, read that again.
It says, get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not.
Yep, and this wisdom and understanding is found in the scriptures. Give me Proverbs, I think that's Proverbs, is that Proverbs 7 and 1?
Yep.
Go ahead.
It says, neither decline from the words of my mouth.
Because the words of the Lord's mouth, it captures life, everlasting life, right? There's no other resource on the planet Earth that you might deem as being valuable. You know, whether it's gold, silver, women, money, oil, diamonds, livestock, lands, it all pales in comparison to this word. Why? Because this truth promotes life. See that? Is it on that? All right, give me what you got.
Proverbs 7:1. My son, keep my words.
Yep, keep my words. See that? Go ahead.
My son, keep my words and lay up my commandments with thee. Keep my commandments and live.
Keep what? Read that again.
It said, keep my commandments and live.
Keep my commandments and live. Now, that's not talking about the 613 laws, statutes, and commandments, as coined as the laws of Moses, which consist of the 10 commandments. That's talking about this book in its entirety. And it tells you that in 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, around the 74th verse.
Yep.
Well, matter of fact, you'll get that real quick.
This is 2nd Ezra 16. It's like 2nd Ezra 16, even to get to the point.
Yeah, come.
2nd Ezra 16 to 76, it said, and the God of them who keep my commandments
If you got to break down.
and precepts, see? And that's why when Yahweh says written in your law,
Yeah.
you are God's, but that wasn't written, that was written in the book of Psalms, man. So let you know the commandments consist of the whole word, the word as a whole, man. You know? So it says, and the God of them who keep my commandments and precepts, said the Lord power. And the Lord power, the Lord ain't just said nothing about the law. The words of the Lord consist throughout the whole scriptures, man.
Right.
You know? So it said, let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves.
Yeah. So this word in its entirety, matter of fact, get that, I think that's 1 Peter 2:20. This word in its entirety is inspired by the Lord, man. So it's all a law. It's all law. You know? You got something? All right, yeah, go ahead.
All right, this 2 Peter 1:20 said, yeah, that was you want, right? Yep. 2 Peter 1:20 said, knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation. The prophecy came not in old time by the will of man.
Yep, so this word was not by the will of man. Go ahead.
But holy men of the Most High spake as they were moved by the Holy Spirit.
See, was moved by the Holy Spirit, man. Meaning it was inspired by our Lord Yahweh through His Son Yahweh Shai, which would make it law, man.
Yep.
Right. So this book in its entirety is law. All right. So now go back to that Proverbs again.
All right. Proverbs 7:1. It said, "My son, keep my words and lay up my commandments with thee. Keep my commandments and live."
See, keep my commandments and live. See, go ahead.
And my law as the apple of thine eye.
My law is the apple of thine eye. So this word was set up to preserve you. So when you have this word in you, then that brings about life. All right. Matter of fact, go to Wisdom of Solomon, the 7th chapter.
God.
And start at like the 7th verse. It's a lot of.
Hey, God. Yeah, the Wisdom of Solomon 7. It says, "Wherefore I prayed, and understanding was given me. I called upon the Most High, and the spirit of wisdom came to me."
Yep.
I prefer her before scepters and thrones.
Right, proving that no other resource on the planet Earth can rival to this truth. See, go ahead.
I prefer her before scepters and thrones, and esteem riches nothing in comparison of her.
Yeah, go ahead.
It says, "Neither compare I unto her any precious stone, because all gold in respect to her is as little sand, and silver shall be counted as clay before her.
Yep, go ahead.
I loved her above health and beauty,
Mm-hmm.
and choose to have her instead of light, for the light that cometh from her never go out.
Yeah, and that's dealing with the understanding that you receive when you come. When you call into this marvelous light, again, there's nothing that can compare to this, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it only can resonate with those who really get it. You know, you find yourself being ridiculed. Your old friends or contemporaries, they might talk about you. They don't know what you have. They don't understand what you're involved in, man.
Yep.
You know, and only those who like-minded can actually understand what you're going through. They can relate to what it's like to have this truth, man. We count everything as dawn in comparison to this truth, right? This is our very being, man. This is what drives us. See, go ahead.
Okay. It says, all good things together came to me with her, and innumerable.
Hold up, read that again.
It said, all good things came. So, like, all good things together came to me with her.
But all good things together came to me with her. Meaning all the resources that I mentioned earlier, you're going to get that. Because, see, there's a reason why you people desire those resources I mentioned, because they contribute to your livelihood. But when you get wisdom, you're going to get all that by default, man.
Yeah.
See that? Furthermore, if you was to somehow get all that, you know, and even if you had the world, that's not going to add one day to your life, man. You know? But having this truth will promise everlasting life. Go ahead.
Okay, it says, all good things together came to me with her, and innumerable riches in her hands. And I rejoiced in them all, because wisdom goeth before them.
Right, so before you get any of these things, you got to have wisdom. You get wisdom, and all that comes with it. See, go ahead.
And say something to let you know you're going to enjoy it too.
Yeah.
You get it by the wisdom. Esau, he can't, and he got gold stocked up. He can't enjoy his gold.
Matter of fact, we're going to get that. You know what? Get that in the book of Job too, where he should not swallow down.
God.
Because he can't enjoy it. That's a thief, man. You looking over your shoulder, you know what I mean?
God. This is.
You wondering if you cross this dude, that dude, you don't know what he gonna do. You can't enjoy it, right? Go ahead.
This is let's see, this Job 20. Job 20 and 18. That which he labored for shall he restore.
Hold up. The so-called white man labored, man, rigorously, vehemently for the planet Earth, man. This man waged war on all these different nations. You know, he hijacked entire continents, man. This man stayed up restless. This man didn't get no sleep to get this you know. Right? He exhausted everything that he had, which is his blessing, his sword. Right? He did all that for what he got now. Go ahead.
It said, that which he labored for shall he restore.
Yeah, and he's going to give it all back. Everything this man labored for, he's going to restore it. When you go into the word that restore, it goes back to restitution. You got Jake out there looking for restitution. What retribution? You know? Guess what? The so-called white man going to vomit it all up anyway. Go ahead.
It says, that which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be.
See, according to his substance shall the restitution be. Meaning he himself is going to be restitution. Everything which you can compare to being his substance is going to be the restitution. Meaning he's going to lose everything. And when you read Amos the 9th chapter, it outlines the fact that he's going to even lose his land. We're going to take his land, right? Go ahead.
And he shall not rejoice therein.
And he shall not rejoice therein. See that? So like you were saying, he can't enjoy what he got. Versus us, when we get the king, we're going to enjoy everything, right? Because it's going to be given in righteousness. So go ahead.
Okay, so the woman Solomon Psalm in 12, it said, and I rejoice in them all, because wisdom goeth before them, and I knew not that she was the mother of them.
Right, meaning when you get wisdom, you're going to get everything else. Let's say if you and somebody else couple of more people, the last people on the planet Earth, hypothetically, and they got all the resources, but you got the wisdom. Eventually, you're going to have their resources, man. Because you got the wisdom to finesse them. Right? Go ahead.
It said, I learned diligently and do communicate her liberally.
Right, and that's where we come in at. We communicate wisdom liberally, man. You know, we don't charge you. Oh, you remember like Nate used to do the videos. Yeah, he'll give you 15 minutes, it'll get good. Then the video will cut off. He said, you know, for the rest of the breakdown, send 139. You know, some shit, you know. But we communicate her liberally, man. It's an honor to the scriptures say, hide not her wisdom and her beauty. What's that? Is that Wisdom Psalm 4?
I think that is.
It said, hide not wisdom and her beauty. So we're not to hide wisdom. Like you got a bad woman, you know. I love like, hey man, you got she bad, sure, you know. So we got wisdom. We showing we putting her on display for you, right? I think it's Wisdom Psalm 4, but if that's not it, you ain't.
Oh yeah, this is it. This is Ecclesiastes Sirach 4 and 23. Okay. And refrain not to speak.
See? Refrain not to speak. Go ahead, because whenever you got an opportunity to speak, matter of fact, continue.
It said, and refrain not to speak when there is occasion to do good.
When there's occasion to do good. We got a number of time on our hand, man. You know, that's why you see us constantly doing the work. Right? Especially the so-called white man lock shit down. Hey man, this is our time. This is time for the word to go forth, man.
That's right.
Read that again. That's bad.
It said, and refrain not to speak when there is occasion to do good.
Right, go ahead.
And hide not thy wisdom in her beauty.
And hide not thy wisdom in her beauty, man. So we got to showcase this wisdom. All right, so you go back.
This is Wisdom Solomon 7 and 13. I learned diligently and do communicate her liberally. I do not hide her riches.
Yep. So we can't hide her riches. We got to display them. Go ahead.
I got Proverbs. This is book of Proverbs 4 and verse 6. Forsake her not.
This is what?
It says, forsake her not.
Forsake her not. Go ahead.
And she shall preserve thee.
And she shall preserve thee. So that's why we know that this word leads to life. Because, you know, what you download, it affects, you know, your outlook, your day-to-day walk. Right? Go ahead.
It says,
forsake. On that?
No, it's a little bit more. It says, forsake her and she shall love thee. Love her and she shall keep thee.
Yep. She shall keep thee, which goes into preserving. All right, go ahead.
This is Proverbs 31. And I started at 20. She stretched out her hand to the poor. Yes, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow.
Right. Yeah, no matter what's the conditions, right? In season or out of season, if you have wisdom, you're going to go forth and push this word. Go ahead.
It says, she is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet.
Yep, because all her household is clothed with scarlet. Go ahead.
It says, she maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple.
Yep, and that symbolizes royalty. Her
husband is known in the gates.
Yeah, her husband is known in the gates, man. Go ahead.
When he sitteth among the elders of the land.
Yeah, see that? So you go ahead.
All right, so this back Wisdom Solomon 7 and 14. For she is a treasure unto men that never faileth.
Yeah.
Which they that use become the friends of the Most High, being commended for the gifts that come from learning.
Yeah, and you're going to be commended, you know, for the gifts that come from learning. The brother might say, you know, that's a nice lesson. The water, I was edified. That really helped me. That strengthened me. You're going to be commended from the works that come from learning. See, go ahead.
He said, the Most High have granted me to speak as I would, and to conceive as it meet for the things that are given me, because it is he that leadeth unto wisdom and directeth the wise.
Yep, so it's the Lord that gave us this wisdom, all right? And this wisdom was given for two extremes. It was on one hand to comfort, and it was on the other hand to condemn. Jot that. On one hand, for real, his wisdom was given on one hand to comfort, and on the other hand to condemn. See that? That's why we That's why we get on you, devil. Matter of fact, you got more over here? If not, go back to Ezekiel 35 and also hold me. You got a precept? Hold Jeremiah 1 and 10. So let's go back to the Ezekiel 35.
Okay. This is the book of Ezekiel. Ezekiel 35 and 2 again. It says, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. And say unto it, thus saith the Lord power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee.
See that? So that's what we were sent to do. To prophesy against you goddamn devils. Which that's not hard to do, man. All right? Go ahead.
And I will stretch out my hand against thee.
Yeah, so the Lord ultimately is going to take you down, man. All right? The Lord is not with Esau. He's against Esau. Go ahead.
And I will make thee most desolate.
Yeah, and that's going into the climax of this judgment. It's going to end off in the so-called white man being totally destroyed. Go ahead.
It says, I will lay thy cities waste.
Yep, I will lay thy cities waste. That's dealing with first and foremost America, man. Go ahead.
And thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, Yahweh Shemel.
So hold up. When you read that, we didn't, that's not our words. That was the words of the Lord, right? When you read that, who is in harmony with the will of Yahweh Shemel Shah? We gotta be, man. All right. If you ever come out to the camp, we got the signs, the nuclear missile signs. You know, the overtone of our ministry is the so-called white man being violently overthrown, and the ushering in and the raising up of the kingdom of heaven without Lord Yahweh Shah spearheading that charge, right? But guess what? That's what the scripture's saying. Yep, people saying that we teach this violent. Yeah, but that's Ezekiel the 2nd chapter, man. Mourning, lamentations, and woe. So the Lord has prepared judgment for Mount Seir and the so-called white man, and we were sent to declare that. We were sent to speak that decree, man. You know, we were sent to echo that death threat that the Lord has sent towards you so-called white people, man. See that? You got more?
That's pretty much.
All right. Go ahead, give me what you got. Jeremiah 1 and 10.
This is the book of Jeremiah 1 and verse 10. See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdom to rule out and to pull down and to destroy and to throw down and to build and to plant.
And to build and to plant. So you have two extremes. We were sent to pull down and destroy and also to build and to plant, which means this word given us was to comfort, either comfort you or condemn you. See that? Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 11, moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Jeremiah, what seest thou?
That was it? Okay, come on. All right. That was it on that?
On Ezekiel 35, yeah, that was it on that.
All right. So, real quick, let's go to Revelation, the 18th chapter. And start at, I think, around the 3rd verse. You can start at the top. Matter of fact, go ahead and start at the top.
Revelation 18 and 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was light with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and hold of every foul spirit, in the cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
Now, when you read that right there, that's dealing with the aftermath after America is destroyed. And it tell you that in Isaiah 34th chapter, where it goes into, matter of fact, give me that real quick. Where it goes, you know what I want.
Yep.
So when the smoke cleared and the dust settled, right, when the Lord has fulfilled his purpose concerning Babylon the Great, you're going to have desert creatures inhabiting America. You know, certain fowls of the air. You know, vultures and owls, night owls, screeching owls. So that's what that's going into. And that's spoken of right here in the prophet Isaiah. Go ahead.
Isaiah 34 and 11. But the cornet and the bittern shall possess it. The owl also and the raven shall dwell in it, and he shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion and stones of emptiness.
Right. And that line of confusion means once the Lord destroy America, you're not going to know what New York City was. You're not going to know what Florida was. That's that line of confusion.
Yep.
Right? Go ahead.
It says, it's like it.
You might have jump up. You got that screech house at the well there and all that.
Yeah, I think it's on down. Yeah, it says. Matter of fact, I can jump down. On, let's see. Verse 14. It said the beast. So like the wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the wild beasts of the island. The satyr shall cry to his fellow. The screech owl also shall rest there.
That's talking about America. This is gonna be an eerie place. That's why the scriptures talk about how those who pass by America gonna hiss.
Yeah.
That means your flesh gonna crawl. You're gonna be like, shit.
Yeah.
You know? That's how bad America gonna look. It's gonna be an eerie place. Go ahead.
It says, it says, the screech owl also shall rest there and find for herself a place of rest. There shall the great owl make her nest and lay and hatch and gather under the shadow. There shall the vulture also be gathered, every one with her mate.
Yep. So go back.
All right, Revelation 18:2 again. It says, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hole of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
Yep. So when the smoke clear again, when the smoke clear and the dust settle, when World War III has ran its course and reached its climax, this place is going to be a desert, and the only thing that's going to be dwelling here, and the only thing that's going to inhabit this land is eerie creatures such as vultures and a screech owl. You know what the hell a screech owl? The sound of a screech owl make the hair on the back of your neck stand up, man. All right, and go ahead.
It says
that screeching sound.
Yep.
Go ahead.
It says, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the rabble of fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her.
Right, and that's dealing with all these nations that subscribe to whatever the so-called white man teach. Right? Go ahead.
It said, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
Yep, that's why you see these different nations pitch their tents here. They come over here and sell their goods. They set up stores. They have become rich. They are waxing rich because of the abundance of her delicacies, man. They hustle off America. See, go ahead.
It says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues.
Go ahead.
For her sins have reached out of heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities.
Yep, the Most High have remembered her iniquities. See, now that should remind you of Psalms. Give me that real quick. Because who is the driving force behind the iniquities of America? The so-called white man. So the Lord, in essence, has remembered Esau, man. This devil haven't gotten away. Going all the way back to the first crime and first murder committed in the form of Cain against his brother. All right, we coming into the time where the Lord is going to bring all that judgment, upon that one act, man. So-called white man is going to pay. Nobody gets away. Okay, go ahead.
This Psalm 137 and 7. It said, "Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom."
See, so that when the Lord said He has remembered her iniquities, that's dealing with really Esau, man. Okay, go ahead.
It said, "Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom, the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon.
O daughter of Babylon, go ahead.
O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed. Happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones."
See that? So that's all an effort to prophesy against Seir. Babylon is really Mount Seir, man. You know, when the scriptures say prophesy against Mount Seir, we just read it. Babylon the Great. See that? So that's where we at in this thing. And again, this is a beautiful time to be alive. This is a beautiful time to be an Israelite and potentially the elect of the nation of Israel. Not just an Israelite, but the potential elect, numbered amongst the Lord's elect. This is a beautiful time to be in. Because now we're in a time where the Lord has pretty much called this man up on all his wickedness, man. Charges is being brought up on this man. Obviously, he's guilty across the board, So that's why he's squirming. That's why you see this man making all this ruckus, this swarming activity, the coronavirus. He know that he had but a short time, and we contributing to that. The reason why, when you read, we ain't got to get it, but Wisdom of Solomon, where this man say, They are not for our time.
Yep.
You know, when you read Revelation 12th chapter, he know what they have but a short time.
Yep.
They reason with themselves, our time is but a very shadow.
Yep.
We contributed to that, man. They listen to us. They hear us and they believe what we got to say, man. All right? So that's the point. That's why we was raised up to prophesy against this, man. There's a method to that, you know, for this to rest on his ears. Matter of fact, before we close, give me Isaiah the 34th chapter. You got a precept? Give me Isaiah, I think that's 34. And no, you know what? That's Isaiah 13.
Yep. No.
Start at the top.
Yep. All right, this Isaiah 13:1. The burden of Babylon.
The burden. This is a burden, man. This is a burden on these devils. See? Go ahead.
The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift ye up a banner upon a high mountain.
It said, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. What's the high mountain? America. When you read the scriptures, you come across that word mountain, especially in the sense of from a symbolic gesture, right? It symbolizes governments. You know, you have hills that symbolize smaller governments, but mountains symbolize governments. So what's the high mountain? America. Read it again.
It said, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain.
Right, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. What's that banner? The scriptures. Right? Go ahead.
It said, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the noble.
That they may go into the gates of the nobles. So that proves that we was meant to teach this word, and it was meant to fall on the ears of you devils, man.
Sorry.
All right? Thus, the title of the lesson, Prophesy Against Mount City. Okay? So that was it on that?
Yeah, that was pretty much it on it.
Yes, sir. Hey, so with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to our head apostles, you know, elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom, you brothers out there laboring in his work, as well as you believers that subscribe to these teachings. Till the next time, Shalom.
Shalom. DTA, Abba.
These devils out there fighting.
Man, they've been doing that since Juneteenth, man.